And I can relate to the silence and people not being able to speak. So I wonder, what are some of the things you do to get people to feel comfortable speaking or sharing their story or being able to listen?
I guess that ended up being learning for me. Because, you know, when we are faced with something traumatic, I guess it's natural to think that most people relate to it in the way that you do. Now, my need was to talk about it, but I'm told that probably came from being a counselor. Whereas, you know, I know other people who have been in my situation who lost someone and they didn't want to talk. But they find, you know, when they're kind of coaxed into being able to share without people falling apart and them having to be the caretaker of the person falling apart, that it's natural for people to want to bear witness. So it doesn't take as much coaxing for that. So my focus for the silence really became about educating other people, because it wasn't the silence of people, you know, sitting in the room with me who had lost someone to suicide or homicide that bothered me. It was the silence of, say, meeting you,
Right.
and you just going like, all right, and what about the weather? Like, that just bugged the hell out of me. So it was just important to create an educational model to teach other practitioners who work with survivors to, you know, to know the appropriate types of question, to understand how traumatic grief is different from regular grief, to understand the process of trauma and how that impacts us, and to know that, you know, pretending that you don't know what happened to me, or not saying the person's name, or just refusing to discuss it is actually not helpful to me. So that's who my audience and focus was for being able to penetrate the silence, was really on a larger societal model.